What's good, party people? This is According to Woods, and I have the honor and privilege of talking to a multi-time MMA champion. He is the newest signee of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championships. He is the one and only Cody Sons. Cody, how are you doing, my man?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Good, good, dude. Glad to have you. First and foremost, congratulations. I mean, Bare Knuckle is literally taking the world by storm. I just spoke to you earlier this week. Former Bare Knuckle fighting champion Christine Ferre. And with the signing of Paige Van Zandt, it looks like now so more than ever, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship is the toast of the combat sports town.
Oh yeah, man. I definitely think it's gonna. It's definitely like the UFC of bare knuckle fighting by far, and I think within the next year, maybe two, it's gonna be competing with the UFC. I think so.
Absolutely, and it's funny because I think it's kind of hilarious, right? Because if you followed, combat sports in any iteration and the history of it, when you think about like high level jujitsu competitions, like five grappling or a Eddie Bravo Invitational or Fight to Win and these things, and then now bare knuckle. It's essentially what people were doing at the turn of the century, and it's like it's that adage of like if you haven't seen it yet, it's new to you, right? Because it's something that has almost existed since the beginning of man. I mean, the Olympic sport of boxing during
Yeah,
its early incarnations in Greece looked more like bare knuckle than it did Premier Championship Boxing or W something in the WBC.
that is true. Yes, yeah, that is 100% true. It is one of the oldest combat sports there. It's. Dude. I'm thrilled to do this. I grew up in like a really rough neighborhood part of town, so I never had gloves anyways. So it's just a lot of people are like, well, I know two sets of people. Like a couple of people are like, "Oh man, this is awesome, man! Like that is crazy. It's awesome." And then you have like the moms and grandmas are like, "I can't watch it. It is insane. It's bloody." But like, I mean, it's combat sports. So like, I mean, a couple of my MMA fights have been bloody on both ends. I've bled, they've bled. It's blood is blood. But I think bare knuckle is a little bit more realistic. I mean, if a lot of people like they like to fight, but they won't fight without equipment or gear or this or that. But like, if it's in a life or death situation, you're gonna say, "Hold on, let me go put my gloves on," or "Hold on, let me go condition my knuckles to make sure they're ready." Or no, man, it's a fight. Like it's a fist fight.
I mean, first and foremost, right? It is a fist fight, regardless of what kind of iteration of combat sports. I mean, hell, even if you do jujitsu with like the or compete in like a EBI combat jiu-jitsu rule set, that's open hand slaps. So I mean, one way or another, somebody's getting these hands, and
Exactly.
they're going to have to answer for it essentially.
Exactly. That's exactly. And one thing that I've always been good at, man, is throwing these things. I wasn't. I didn't grow up like a wrestler like everybody. A lot of guys my body type were all wrestlers. Short, stocky, grappler kind of guys. There was no wrestling in Tehachapi when I grew up. There was not a wrestling team, but we had a boxing team. We had boxing, so I boxed for years and years and years, and then I kind of like started competing in like amateur boxing. I had like 30 amateur boxing fights, and then I kind of grew up, kind of gained a little weight, and now everyone's 6'2", 6'3", and I'm still a 155 pound, 5'5" kid that's just like buff. And I was getting the shit kicked out of me. So like, I was like, you know what? Let me try something different, And then I started doing like taekwondo, like stuff like that, and I didn't really like the rule set of like of no leg kicks because I've always been like a Thai style, a Muay Thai fan, like since I was a kid, like since blood sport, kickboxer. Like I've always enjoyed Muay Thai. I like the tradition of it. Like I mean, and that was like one of my first tattoos. It's like I love the Muay Thai style, like like I love it. Like I got the Muay Thai chick right there. Like it's part of my life, man, and it'll always be. But it is actually the only professional combat sport that I have not done yet. I have not did a professional Muay Thai fight. I've done kickboxing, but I've not done Muay Thai. I've did amateur Muay Thai,
Wow.
but no pro. I'm still looking for Muay Thai fights, but there's not a lot of money in it in the U.S. I mean, I think I'm worth. I mean, I know my record in MMA isn't the best or anything like that, but I think I'm worth more than $500 to fight. So I will not take a fight for $500. So so it's just my thing. I've been taking this bare knuckle like clinch fighting. I've been using a lot of Muay Thai clinches to land these big uppercut shots and over the top shots and stuff like that. And for a guy that's 5'9" and a half, maybe 5'10" with boxing shoes on and some short stubby arms, like clinch fighting is what I'm best at. And I think that's why I'm going to do so well in this bare knuckle fighting is because my ability to land really hard, really close is going to be the difference maker. And especially my first opponent, his name is Josh Bonner. We're working on the date yet. It's between two dates in September, same month, about a week apart. So I can't announce that because we don't know if it's this date or that date. So, but the opponent is in, I'm in. We are both agreed on the weight. We agreed on this. We agreed on that. Everything's cool. The contract was signed. Now we're just waiting on the date. He's a big old 6'5" bag of marshmallows. So we are going to find out. He swears up and down that the toughest people come from Washington. So I guess we're gonna find out about that. So it's been a long time coming for me to put this man in his place. So it's gonna finally happen this year. So
No, man, I can't wait to see it. And again, uh, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship is the premier organization of this sport of bare knuckle boxing, right? And it's so funny because like I think it was like maybe about 5 years ago, right, where I was watching this like documentary, and there was bare knuckle fighting in the UK, right? And it had always persisted, and it was an environment much like Fight Club, right, where on your lunch break, the guys at the factory would kind of gather around and what have you, and then they'd literally fight for beer, and then go back and weld some stuff and whatever for another 3 hours, and then go home and do it all again, right? So it's amazing because that was 5 years ago, right? And they were saying, oh, this is going to be the best new thing, and people kind of had like skeptical hippo eyes in terms of like, oh yeah, right. And then here we are, this 5 years later, and I think there's kind of benchmark fights that have happened, in that sense, and even in the last like 2 years of iterations of bare knuckle fighting, where you had like Artem Lobov against Paulie Malignaggi, like a champion boxer and like a not the greatest MMA fighter, right? And basically everybody thought Malignaggi was going to win because he was a boxer, and it just shows bare knuckle fighting is a completely different animal.
exactly, it's not 100% boxing, and that's what people are. They're like, well, I mean, you're 1-3 in boxing. Well, what people don't know about my boxing record is every fight that I've ever taken on boxing has been a week or less notice. My last boxing fight in January was on 2 days notice. And I fought Luis Pena, which is, I mean, I think he's 7-1 now. The fight before that, I took it on 3 days notice. And Oscar Torres I think he's 11-0 right now. And then, so like those are two guys that no one wanted to fight. I mean, guys were training their whole camp to fight this guy, and then now they don't want to because they see him hitting pads or something like that. I mean, I've never been about that. I have to win. Or I have to, protect my record, man. I didn't get into fighting to be a puss. Like I got into fighting to fight. Like I like to fight. That's what I like to do. It was never my goal to go to the UFC or to go to, you know, all these places. I mean, I've been to Bellator. I've fought at, you know, the biggest show, URCC. I've fought at, you know, everywhere. Like I fought everywhere. And that was never my goal. My goal was to find something to do to keep my bad ass out of trouble when I was a kid. You know, I mean, I got in trouble for beating up a kid at the park and putting him in the hospital. And the way that his parents told me that I need to start doing like MMA or something like that, because that kid is trained his dad trained him his whole life to fight, and he just got beat up by a little kid from Oildale. Like, and basically I went to an MMA gym, and I mean, it's been one hell of a roller coaster ride in the last 9 years, 10, almost 10 years, like this year or so.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So, I mean, whose parents were it that said, "Hey, you should take up something after you essentially pieced up a kid in the park"?
Yeah, like the kid was calling me out at school, man, for like a week, 2 weeks, because I got into a fight with one of his buddies, and I didn't really like hurt him. Like I kind of, you know, I did wrestling for a long time, so the kid like went to swing, and he swung a crazy overhand. I just kind of ducked it, and I kind of like threw hooks in, and I was just like kind of punching him. And then his friend was like, "Oh, you wouldn't do that to me. You wouldn't do that to me." And I was like, "Man, I don't have a problem with you. I had a problem with him. Like, I don't want to fight anymore. I don't need to fight." And then this kid finally caught me, man, like when I was having a bad day. And he said something, and I was like, "Bro, you know what? Meet me here at the park, blah, 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 blah. We'll just handle it." And me and that kid, we went at it for, I think, man, I can't really remember. This is a long time ago, man, like a really long time ago. I think it was like a 10 to 15-minute street fight, man. Like we took a break in between and then like ran it again. Like it was pretty crazy, man. I had the video on my old computer in storage, man. It was taken on like a Motorola Razr, so it was not the best video, but but yeah, man, it was a decent street fight, man. It was probably one of the best I've ever been in. But I guess I broke the kid's orbital and a piece of his nose. I broke my nose in the fight. Like we were both beat up. And the kid's parents were like, "Man, we've been training this kid, like, you know, he's been in jiu-jitsu and boxing and wrestling his whole life." And he was like, "You need to start training, man. You need to start training." So I went and did it. And, you know, it's kind of crazy. And I didn't really like it at first. And I didn't like it because I went into a gym and no one would teach me anything. They just beat the shit out of me. Like all these, you know, pros or, you know, whoever was in there for a long time. So I stopped going. And then I used to ride BMX, like bicycles. And I was really good, man. Like, I do backflips, bars, all that crazy stuff. And promoter for 559 Fighters, Jeremy, he hit me up and was like, "Hey, do you want to be an MMA fighter?" And I was like, "Not really." And I told my mom, I was like, "Hey, what should I do about this?" And then my mom called her one of her like really good like long-term friends. His name is Poncho. And he was like, "If you want to be a fighter," because I already took it. Like I was like, "Yeah, I'll take this fight, you know, whatever. Like, who's really gonna beat me up?" Like I had that mindset, like, who's gonna beat me up? And he took me to this like little hole in the wall MMA gym, man. And there was no amateur fighters; they were all professionals. Because this was like when Camo was like just getting its start. Like there was not amateur athletes; they were all pros. Exactly, they're all pros. And he took me in there, and he was like, "Go and spar with that guy over there." And that guy, his name is Blake Watkins. And that dude beat the shit out of me. And because, I mean, I was cocky. So, like, I didn't understand the concept of really sparring like in MMA. I mean, I did boxing sparring, but in boxing sparring, you go all out. Like, there's not really half-speed boxing sparring. If you go into a boxing gym, when you spar, you know? So I had that mentality. I didn't know, like, you know, we had the little gloves on and everything. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to fight. And I started like cracking this guy. And man, he beat the piss out of me for the last that 5-minute round. And I was like, okay, I think my MMA career is done again. I think I'm good. And they're like, nope, now you got to go with this guy. You got to go with this guy. You got to go with this guy. So like I did like 10 rounds on my first day, and this is back when I was in amazing shape too. Like, I mean, I didn't have an ounce of fat on my body, and I couldn't do it. I mean, I would ride a bike 25 miles a day going from skate park to skate park in town, I couldn't finish a 5-minute round. They made me do 10 on my first day. And so like I trained, and I finally was like, all right, Jeremy, I think I'm ready to fight now. And I didn't tell the coach that was training us that I told him that I'm ready to fight. And they were like, well, no, you're going to get your ass kicked, bro. You're still like, whatever. And I was like, listen, man, I've been training every day for like 4 hours a day, going home, and I can barely make a fist, and my eyes are all beat up. I said, I want to know if this shit's worth it or not. Like, I want to fight, man. Like, let me fight. So, so happened to be 559 fights came to Bakersfield in 2 weeks from this day. And I was like, yeah, dude, I'll fight. I'm pretty sure I could sell some tickets, And I just had like, all my buddies, all my party friends that I was still like partying with, because I was like, in high school still. So I was like, whatever, man. So I sold like 80 something tickets in like 2 weeks to a fight here. And it was wild, man. I ended up winning in 12 seconds. I didn't remember anything that they trained me, like not one thing. Like as soon as like I walked out, they were like, I was in the back and I was like hitting the pads, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna take him down. Whatever. It did not go like that at all. Like as soon as we bumped gloves, like I don't know, like I just snapped. I just like like I started like going all crazy on the dude. Like it was funny. Like and then I remember like right before I walked out, the guy who got me into it, Poncho, he was like, everything that we taught you, as soon as that door closes, it's going to go away anyways. So just listen to what we're saying and try to, whatever. And I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to remember it. Cause like in every sport, like football, I was a standout, baseball, wrestling. I was like always, the standout athlete. So I was like, in MMA, it's no different, man. It's no different. As literally what he said was 100% true. As soon as that cage door locked, I forgot every single thing we went over in the back. I forgot everything. Like I didn't remember a damn thing. And I mean, I ended up winning in like 12 seconds. Like I just TKO'd the guy in like 12 seconds. But I mean, the guy he tried to throw like a taekwondo kick, and it kind of like slapped me in the face. It didn't like hit me with shin. And like as his foot hit the ground, I threw like a hook. And it just clipped him on the chin, and he just like fell down. I was just like started ground and pounding him. It was awesome, but it was pretty cool. I mean, it was cool for the chicks, I guess, at that time. But now, like, it doesn't really matter. But it's all over. I'm married and shit. But that was like the only glory I had from that 12 seconds of fame. And then
now, what did it feel like? I mean, after like obviously, I've seen it happen on the scene here, where like a fighter forgets everything, and then even with a win, they get reamed by their coaches. Like, why didn't you listen?
Man, they were pissed. Like they were like, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, you didn't throw one jab, you didn't do it. I was like, I won, like I won. And then one of my partner he trains my gym. He's a coach at my gym. His name's Trey Branch, and he's like a technique Nazi, man. Like like in any fight, doesn't matter. Like I won the championship belt. Like I won a belt. Like, oh man, I was like, yeah, I thought I was on top of the world. I won a belt. And this motherflower, like he literally was like, you reached down to catch that kick when he threw a kick at you. I'm like, out of all the things that I did right, you're gonna point that out, like for real, like, and it was crazy because I mean, the guy, Ron that I fought, man, I've never seen him throw a kick in any fight. Like he had like a couple of MMA fights, and he never threw a kick. He was always like punching in wrestling, and so like the last thing I was worried about was checking a damn kick. So when he actually threw a kick, I was like, whoop, and I reached down like an idiot. Like what I was like, what the hell was I doing? And then like it hit me. I missed it anyways. And then I kind of got my hands up, and then like I felt Trey's eyes like just burning in the side of my head. But I ended up like, landing a really good check left hook on him, and it put him down. He kind of like lunged, and like as I hit him, like it was a good place shot. But out of everything that I did good in that fight, he pointed that out. So that was kind of, I mean, I know what you're talking about that, because I mean, I took the fight on about like I think it was like 7 days notice. I fought him, and I was actually 200 and I think it was like 74 pounds, and I had to make cruiserweight, which is like under 230, and I ended up they like something like got messed up where they wrote 250 on the contract, and I made 248. But I cut 34 pounds in 6 days or something like that. That's what it was. But like, that's cool. Like, I mean, I've cut like, 25 to 30 pounds, like on a camp, that week of fight, when you're in a camp and you're prepared and you're water loading. But I was like off the couch pretty much, like I was training, but I was only training to coach people, if that made sense. Like, I was still sparring, but I was sparring with students. I wasn't like, like actively doing my circuit training, like, all that stuff. I was just like, pretty much, I was drinking soda, drinking beer, eating burger, I mean, I was just like in coaching mode. Like, I was having a good time coaching, and all my fighters were doing extremely well. So I was like, I'm really not in a rush to fight. But when they threw some, jewelry out there, I was like, and then I wasn't paying attention to my weight. I was like, yeah, I'm like 250 pounds. I can make that. Well, I was like 274, and I didn't really like. I don't know. I've never really been that heavy, and so me and Trey get to the sauna, to the gym. And he's like, "All right, let's see where we're at." And I was like, "Yeah, man, I'm at 250." So he puts it on the little dial scale at 250 on the dot, and it like, no. He goes to 260. I was like, no. He goes like 265. I was like, no. And I was like, I felt like dumb. He was like, how much do you weigh, bro? And I was like, I don't know. And it was like 274. And it was a trip, man. I couldn't believe I made that, whatever. Shout out to Rondo for still fighting me at 248 pounds when I was supposed to be 230. But on 6 days' notice, like, they understood, they like, they kind of were like understanding, like I saved the show. I mean, the guy sold 200 tickets to the show. I mean, that guy's he's popular. He's a popular dude. He's a great guy too, man. That was one of the out of all the opponents I've fought, that's one of the coolest dudes that I've ever, associated myself with. And if I told him whenever he wants to run it back, we can do that if he wants. I mean, it was kind of like a, I've been fighting for so many years as a pro already, and he made his pro debut to defend his belt against me, because I was like, or something like that, and like he was like, I'll go pro just to fight him, just to fight me, and he fought me. And I mean, I know that I'm not like having an outstanding record or anything like that, man, but anybody who's fought me will tell you that I give them hell. Like, you got to kill me to finish me. Like, I'm a hard fight for anybody. Like, and if I'm healthy, it's going to be trouble. And that's the bad thing about my MMA career, is that I've had so many injuries from dirt bikes and bicycles. And I mean, you lived in Bakersfield. What is there to do, man? Nothing. We either fight, drink, or ride a dirt bike. Like,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. There's a Sonic.
there is a Sonic. But like, so, I mean, I've wrecked dirt bikes my whole life, and I've wrecked BMX bikes, and I have a lot of injuries, man. And actually, before I fought Aaron Brink, I wasn't even medically cleared, like, to fight him. I accepted this fight, and I go up to the mountains. I just got my tax refund, right? And I go and buy a quad, and I'm over here like, getting shitty on my quad, and I dislocate my hip and chip a bone out of it. And then I had to fight a UFC veteran. But I mean, I will never pull out of the fight. I won't. I can't do it. For one, I need the money. Well, I needed the money back then. I mean, I got a decent job now, so I don't need to, and I own a gym that's doing extremely well. So I needed the money for one, so I'm not going to pull out of a fight if I know I'm about to get $1,000 or some, So that was like my mindset. Like, why am I going to pull out and lose all this money if it's just a little bit of pain? It's a 15-minute fight. I can't tough it out for 15 minutes. you know. Unfortunately, he single legged. He got a single leg deep on the hurt hip, and I fought it for as long as I could, and it was excruciating. So I went down, and he actually caught me with a 12-6 elbow. One of them, he got his warning. 112. It was. I mean, I understand accidents happen. I mean, I've been in the fight game for 10 years now. I get it. Like when you're coming down, boom, he hit me, and it split my forehead. I don't know if you can see this right there. Split my forehead open, and the doctor stopped the fight because he said he was like, your cut man can't fix this. I've been a fight doctor for like 12, 13, 14 years. You're not stopping the bleeding on that cut. It's over. And we went in the back, and they were like, we're going to transport you to go get you stitches. And I was like, the hell if you ain't. And Trey just filled it up with super glue and just pinched it shut. And I went to the doctor the next day, and they're like, whoever did this did an extremely well job. Like it was, but they like really, he just put it all in my head. But they like kind of like tightened it up a little bit and put some better stuff on it. So, but yeah, that was. It was crazy, man. I fought through injuries my whole life, and that's why I'm liking this bare knuckle boxing route that I'm taking, because I'm not. They're not going to be attacking the only injury that I have, which is a dislocated hip that still has not healed 100%. Like that. I mean, I'll say it all day long. That's the only injury that I really have right now. And I don't have an ACL on my left leg either, but that's been there since my 11th grade, so junior year of high school. I've had a torn ACL, and I've never got it fixed because football season's coming up. I'll get it fixed after football season. Oh, damn it, wrestling's coming up, and then and I rode my bike during the summertime, so there was no really time for me to fix it. And now it doesn't bother me when it's really cold. You don't ask me to fight in Colorado because I ain't going. No, I'm just kidding, but yeah, man, it just hurts when it's cold, man. And I think this bare knuckle, it's what I'm best at, for one. I've never lost a punching match, I guess you would say. Like I've never lost a legitimate, like just street bare knuckle, like get down. Like I've been in a lot of them too. And I mean, like you said, I mean, like you kind of lived on the same, when you lived here in Bakersfield, you lived on the same side of town as me. If you don't blend in like the people around this area, you're going to get in a fight. And there's hair on my head, and I don't have tattoos on my face. I actually lied about that. I recently got a tattoo on my face. But it's not like what they have on their face. So, but yeah, man, I've been in a lot of fights, a lot of them. And I grew up. I went to my freshman and sophomore year. I grew up in Stockton. I lived in Stockton, so I was the only white boy in the whole neighborhood, and I was the only white boy on the whole football or the whole school. Pretty much, there was like 13 white kids in our whole school. And I mean, I like to dress fancy. I wear Jordan shoes. I wear Air Maxes. I wear cool Vans. You got to run fast or you got to fight. And I'm not I don't got a lot of cardio. I'm only a sprinter, man. I only got like 100 yards in me. Then it's fight time. So I had to get tough, bro. And that's where I learned how to fight, honestly, was in Stockton at Stagg High School, because they be getting down over there. So I mean, that's where I learned how to fist fight. I did the boxing, I did everything, but I learned how to fist fight there. So my bare knuckle debut, I'm promising all the viewers watching, I promise anybody who sponsors me, I promise anybody who supports me, I will knock the living shit out of Josh Bonner, or my bare knuckle debut. I promise. He keeps saying he's going to drop me in one. I'm literally going to give him 2 minutes of fame. I'm going to cruise through round one, and I'm going to knock the piss out of him in round two, and he's never going to want to fight bare knuckle again. That is my to everybody watching. And I know he's watching because I'm pretty sure he's watching because he liked the status that I shared of on here. So that's all I'm going to say. That's the only shit talk that he's going to hear from me. I'm going to give you your 2 minutes of fame in round one, and you're going to bed in round two. That's it. That's all I have to say.
Damn.
That's all I got to say.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in that, Ron Monahan says you're a class act, bro. We definitely got to run it back after this COVID is done. Jesse Velasquez says you're a wild man. It looks good. Doesn't look like a bad scar. And with that, that tear, essentially, did you modify the training with an injury like that?
I actually, I lied to Trey. Trey was in charge of my camp. So what me and him do is like, I don't have a head coach on my team. Like I hate that because that like is a thing of power or whatever. And I didn't want to like I'm the head coach here. You're gonna listen to me. No, man, I got a group of coaches that are I got wrestler guys, I got boxers, I got Muay Thai guys, I got MMA guys. We all come together and agree on everything. And I lied to Trey, man. I said, yeah, my hip feels great, but I would just not let anyone near it. I was switching my stance a lot. I was kind of being ignorant, man. Like I wouldn't tell Trey. Trey was like, hey, man, how's your hip feeling? It's good, coach. It's good, man. It's good. It's good. It's good. Granted, like he wasn't here with me when my wife had to freaking make the Epsom salt bath and the ice baths and all that to keep me from freaking, sitting on the couch all day the next day. But it was, I definitely had to modify it. I did not get to do a lot of wrestling at all. And that's been one of my main points of my game so far, because with me being at heavyweight right now, man, I don't know what it is. I've tried diets. I've tried, supplements. I've tried this. I've tried that. I cannot get under 230 pounds. I can't do it anymore. My whole family, we're pretty big, stocky men. I mean, we got a lot of Viking blood in us. So like we're big, muscular, short men, but I cannot get under 230 pounds, man. So I was like, well, I can't sit here and throw these big punches and kicks with these really big men. I'm going to implement my wrestling background a little bit. I couldn't wrestle that whole camp. That was my game plan from the get-go to fight Aaron. I was going to take him down. I was going to beat the shit out of him, and I was going to submit him. That was my whole plan, because 80% of that guy's losses. He's like 28 wins and 26 losses or something like that. And I think like 18 of them were by submission. So I was like, dude, I'm definitely going to sub this guy. And then that happened, and I couldn't freaking take him down. I couldn't do anything, and he got that single leg, and it was so deep. And that guy is so strong. Like he's ridiculously strong. And I could not fight it off, man. And I kind of just, in a way, I kind of like gave up the takedown because it hurt so bad. Like I felt that like if I just went down, I can like play guard. Well, when I went down, he went straight into mount. And that guy's a veteran, man. He's fought in Pride, UFC. He's fought everywhere. Like since the beginning of, he's been fighting since 1997. Okay, I was born in '94. Like he's been fighting since I was 3 years old, and I had the honor to fight that guy. And I also slit his eye open on the very first punch of the fight. So we were both bleeding, and we both had a great, whatever. But to fight a guy like that my dad was a fan of back in the day, that was pretty cool. But that was yeah. Like I was like, big time. But then the fight happened, and I got my ass kicked. But it happens, man. It's the fight game. It's the hurt business. I believe if me and him run it back, I would toy with him now that I'm a little bit more healthy. And I actually seen on BKFC, if Aaron is tuning in, that he was on the heavyweight roster for BKFC. He's not fought for them yet. Exactly. So I literally was laying in bed with my wife last night, and I was like looking at all the heavyweights, on there. I was like, man, there's a lot of legendary guys on there. And I seen his name. And I think that me and him, we need to have a fist fight. So I'm going to definitely talk to my manager about that. So that's for damn sure.
I can't wait.
Yeah, I seen he did a lot of bare knuckle fighting back in the day too. That guy was a wild man back in the day. So I seen him do a lot of bare knuckle fighting. There's a bare knuckle fight of his on YouTube. And I honestly think that my bare knuckle fighting is better than his. So I'm 100% healthy. My mind, body, and soul are ready to go. I am medically cleared to fight from my hip now. It's still a little tender, but this is not MMA. This is bare knuckle fighting, and you're not going to be able to get to my hip. My footwork's improving every day. I actually just got myself a strength and conditioning coach today. We start on Monday. You know, I don't know if you know who Trey Branch is, man, but if you guys, I swear to God, if you guys were looking for a striking coach, get with him. I'm not saying that because he's, on my team or anything like that. He has more knowledge than anybody I've ever worked with in striking. It's just the way he breaks stuff down is scientific, man. And he literally makes it a science. Like Trey breaks it down like so differently. Like there'll be times where like when I just want to go hard and hit mitts, and he goes, "Let's slow down today. Let's work on this today." Like I was like, "But I want to sweat." He goes, "It's not even about that, man. Let's just get the motions down, get your footwork down." Because in bare knuckle, it's a little bit different, In boxing and MMA, you got this whole glove, man, but these knuckles are really weak. These two knuckles down here are really weak. You got to really make sure your punch placement is clean with bare knuckle. Or that's why all these guys are like, "You're breaking your hands, you're doing this," is because they're just going out there and just swinging like, giving whatever. Me, I'm telling you, like, I don't care if it's a secret because I'm working on it so much. And like, I'm literally like, I'm taking this so seriously in my fight camp of punch placement. I don't have to hit you 150 times as hard as I can. I got to hit you 50 times at a decent, power level, and you're still going to go to sleep. You're still going to sleep, and I'm punching right, and I don't think I'm going to break my hands. I got big hands, big wrists, and they're ready to rock, man. And that's what people of bare knuckle they're not really breaking it down. They're fighting the way they fought in MMA and in boxing, and that's why they're breaking their hands. And, I'm almost like taking like a this is weird to say, man, like a kung fu style, like punches, like making sure those front two knuckles, like the Michael J. White lecture that he gives everybody, like I'm literally taking it a little bit more seriously and making sure your wrist is all one. That you're not punching like this or like this, making sure my wrists are really strong. And I promise you that I'm going to be prepared and my hands are not going to break.
No, absolutely. And Eddie Smith says, "Give it to his dog ass." Sky Guzman goes, "Yeah, man, all emojis," right?
That's my wife.
Eddie's
She's
like,
in the living room.
Yeah. Eddie's like, excuse the language. Nah, we're good. You're good, bud. And then Christian over on YouTube, it said, "You're going to kill him. I know firsthand. Let's go, Cody. Hashtag hammer down." We got, yeah, absolutely. The BJ shows goes, eye emoji, right? And rematch says Sky. And you have to lose to a porn star. Damn.
Oh, yeah, you're a porn star. But I'm a porn star too. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm just kidding. Chris is always a jokester, man. That guy's a jokester.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Chris Ronquillo and MMA Fight Pass. I've been covering the total scope of the combat sports scene there in the Central Valley. He gave me my start.
Yeah, I love those guys over there. Chris is always giving me a hard time, but he means well by it. He's always talking. He's always talking that stuff. But it honestly gets me going. Like when Quilio starts talking shit, man, he cares about you. If he doesn't pay any mind to you, I know whatever. But he always gives me shit about the time I fought Little Bear and I got clipped, man. It was the first time and only time I've ever been KO'd, like put to sleep. And the story like behind that fight is I head kicked his brother and knocked him clean out. Boom, head kick knockout. And then like I went to go help him up, and Little Bear's like, "You won't do that to me, bitch." I was like, "Whoa, man, I fight at 170. You're fat as shit." And he goes, "Yeah, that's why you won't do it to me." Well, I went up to 205 and fought the guy when I was only fighting at 170 at that time. And so I bulked up. I changed my regimen and stuff, and I got to 205 pounds. I was actually 212 at the fight. That's how big I got. I was about at 212, and So I went to this Chinese restaurant in Porterville like 5 hours before the fights, right? And I got sick as shit. And I wanted to pull out, but I already sold like 90 something tickets, almost 100 tickets to this fight. I was like, I'm not pulling out. Like, they were like advertising it like Cowboy versus Indian, you know, whatever on the res. And like, I mean, I guess I'm not really like a yeehaw cowboy, but you know, if the boot fits, wear it, I guess. So I was like, I'm not pulling out of this fight, dude. And I was puking and shitting my brains out in the porta potty. I didn't warm up. I didn't do whatever. So I told Trey, I said, he's got 3 minutes of hell and then I'm done. Like, I'm literally going to give him 3 minutes of everything I fucking got and I'm done. And with like 12 seconds to go, I threw a knee and I was up on one and he closed his eyes. I know his eyes were closed because I've watched the video a billion times. There's like 4,000 views on YouTube and 1,000 of them are for me. He closed his eyes and hit me right there. Boop. And I fell down and I popped back up and the ref stopped the fight. And I was like, what the hell happened? You know, it was a flash knockout. But Chris always gives me shit about that. He's like, you lost to a drunk Indian. But that guy, dude, Little Bear hits like a truck. And he even Little Bear actually called me out for BK bare knuckle fighting too, because we've been talking about running it back because Little Bear knows I was sick. And he said he wants to beat me at my best. So that was Little Bear's. He said he could beat me at his best. So he already potentially called me out for bare knuckle. Man, my phone, like, I don't know if they're clout chasing or whatever, but everyone wants to fucking fight me now. So like, I mean, let's run it. Like, I mean, I got a few fights under bare knuckle. I didn't sign for just one. So I'm gonna be there a minute. So if y'all want it, let's get it. Like, I mean, you already know me. I'm ready to fight at any given time. Like I've been telling BKFC, they were like, well, when's your time frame to fight? And I said, tomorrow. Like, I will fight tomorrow. I mean, I'm ready right now. I'm ready right now. I feel that me and Trey have put in the work. We're still putting in the work, and I'm ready to fight, man. I want to fight. This COVID shit has got me going crazy. Like, yeah.
Me too. Yeah.
I'm saying, like, my wife, I never, like, my wife was never really like an MMA fan or anything before she got with me. And like, that's all I do is like MMA stuff. Like, I manage, I do all this other stuff. I coach, I manage, I go to the fights. I mean, I'll go to a fight event when none of my guys are fighting just to watch, to see, you know, study potential people that my guys are going to have to fight. Like, I'm that guy. I'll go and buy a ticket and I'll watch a whole event and with I'll have a pad and a paper or take notes on my phone at those events. Like, you know, I'm that serious of a coach. And she was like, I'm losing my mind the other day. And I was like, what do you mean? She goes, we haven't been to a fight in like 4 months. I'm freaking out. Like, and now it's been like 8. Like, the last fight we went to was mine in January at Chumash Casino. And like, it's August. So 7 months without a fight. Like, that's insane, you know? So.
Yeah. It's nuts. I mean, down here in SoCal, I mean, a fight every weekend, you know, multiple,
Exactly.
sometimes Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you know, we were just on the road and it just got to shut down. It seemed like, I think the last thing that I went to it was either LFA in Orange County in probably February or probably Combat Jiu-Jitsu at the Orpheum Theater in downtown LA in early March, like first week of March. But like, it just shut down. And I mean, like, we kind of had inclinations, but like, it just, the rug just got pulled up under us. So it's, you know, everybody's trying to do the best, you know?
Yeah, it was, yeah, it's just insane, man. I don't even like to talk about it. It pisses me off. Like, I get mad, like, about like why, like, just about this stuff. Like, I don't want to, we're not going to get into my views on the COVID horse shit, but let's just say that this deadly virus, it was gone in 2 days when I had it. So You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think it's as deadly and as crazy as everyone thinks. So, anyways, I think we need some damn fights in California, and if we can't do the whole capacity of people, why not do 40%, 20%, 25% capacity? Do like let's do some outdoor events, do something. I mean, I know it's 197 degrees outside, but I mean, come on, man. Like this is how a lot of people make their living. Like as a coach and a manager and all this other stuff. I got fighters that don't want to put in a whole lot of work because they feel like they're not going to fight for the rest of the year.
Yeah,
And then I got I mean, if my fighters don't fight, I'm not making any money. I mean, then if they're not training, I'm not making a whole lot of money, and that's just. I mean, I know it's selfish to think like that, but I mean, it's the line of work that I've chose, and,
right.
and it's crazy, dude. Like that it just was, we were rolling in, I had a roster, we had hammered down me and Trill. We had a roster of 14 guys. We got 5 right now, 5 fighters in our gym. That's like it. I mean, we got a lot of students. We got a lot of like really good students too. Like, I've been telling everybody that our regular students will beat half these guys as fighters around here. Like, and they're just like chilling fighters, they're not like competitive fighters. They're just there to learn. They're there to lose weight. They're there to whatever. And I think some of them can beat most of the amateurs around.
Damn,
But
that's amazing. But I mean, it's got to go to Trey. Eddie Smith says Trey's a true student of the game. His knowledge is second to none, right? And Steve Dodson says, "Fuck yeah, bro, make Cali proud." And then ask him how he plans to take the jab away on a and get in on a taller opponent. So that's from Steve Dodson. Ooh.
we
Okay,
got,
right.
we got secrets for
Marquisha Louder says, "Good luck, bro. Can't wait to watch when you fight."
love you too.
Absolutely, neither can I. And then Steve is saying, "I know Cody is tough. I've been watching him. I wouldn't have sent him to Nate if I doubted him. Definitely see him getting the finish." So there you go.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Cody don't have wrists. He has thighs connected to his wrists. Yep, those are big old ham hocks, right? And Steve is going like, "Yep, make fighting great again." It's always been great. It's always been great, right? And it, let's see, it's not, bro. It will be gone in November, right? Yeah. So and basically, fighters should stay ready. Absolutely, and that's one of the things, right? I'd seen more of the people that were waiting for their call and Bellator and UFC and what have you, them getting the call during this kind of COVID situation, like on a week's notice, a 2 days notice, even, than ever before. So if there was ever time to be, ready to go for whether it be bare knuckle boxing, whether it be, premier championship boxing, all of those LFA, UFC, Bellator, they're all running shows, right? And they're all paying
I
money.
I honestly believe that's why I'm getting I got the call that I got because I basically told the people that offered to work with me, what's my time frame now? I've been telling everybody all I need is one fight to show everybody that I belong there. That's all I need. One fight. They kind of asked me my goals. I said I want to fight, bare knuckle as long as my body will allow it. Um, I I don't have I don't have CT or whatever like that. I get a lot of checkups. I get no broken bones in my hands. I don't have any broken bones in my face. Well, my nose has been broken since forever, but um, you know. Um, once I need to plug my laptop in. I guess it's been draining this battery. Hold on 1 second.
No worries. Yes, and for those that are joining us, thank you for joining us. I'm Gordon Woods, and I do combat sports interviews. So I highly encourage you guys to like, share, and subscribe the According to Woods both Facebook and YouTube pages. And yes, so when you tune in live, your questions come up on screen. So that's another incentive for subscribing. So interviewing some of your favorite combat sports personality, much like Cody Sons. So bam, there you go.
Yeah, I'm probably not the best, but I'm definitely the fan favorite at every event that I've ever been to. You know, my persona, that they all like that. They all like my attitude. I'm not a prick. You know, I have never said no to a pitcher just because I've, lost or had a bad night. I've never went MIA because of a bad fight or a bad stuff. You know, I've had like a couple fights, like for instance, the Little Bear fight. Was I healthy? Hell no. Did I think that I could keep fighting? Of course, I'm going to say that. Yes, I could have kept fighting. Um, but I've had a couple bad stoppages. I don't let that affect me. I'm still the same dude, like always. And I've been telling everybody, if I take off and bare knuckle fighting, don't think that I'm going to be like, oh, I got all this, whatever. I'm going to be the same asshole at practice the next day. Like, I'm going to literally be the same coach that's going to be making you do those bear crawls and those burpees and those monkey rolls. Like, it ain't going to change. Like, I'm not going to, like, be too good and hire this and hire that and drive a Mercedes. Well, I probably will drive a Mercedes eventually, but I'm getting ahead of myself there. But I'm not going to change, man. Like, it's not going to change me, being, in the mix of a high level sport like that. I'm not going to switch up on people like everybody seems to do these days. So I'm pretty much myself. You get what you're going to get, and I'm not going to change for nobody. And I'm happy with what's going on right now. Well, not like what's going on in the world, but like what's going on in my life and my career and with my gym and with my students and my coaches, man. I feel like my group of guys and my coaching staff and my gym's whole aura of everything, man, is that we're unstoppable right now. Like, I got the number one ranked cruiserweight for camo in my gym. The 559 fights cruiserweight champion, Tristan Hatfield. I got Matt Reed. He is dipping himself into pro boxing now. He's 1-0 in pro boxing with the first round KO. His ton of MMA fights. I got Trey Branch. Like Eddie said, Eddie's one of our longtime students. He's moving away for a while. He's going to come back. But we have so much knowledge and so much like skill on our team and so much heart on our team. Like, I mean, even our new guys that were coming up, I'm getting these kids that have been fighting their whole life just to survive, just to get some food on the table. And now they're coming in and knowing that, I'm getting them sponsors, like, oh, are you serious? Like, they're going to pay me that much? Are you sure? Yeah, bro. Like, you don't got to like go out and steal shit no more. Like, their attitude towards this fighting stuff, man, like our gym is, I promise you right now, like I'm telling you, within the next 2 years, Hammer Down Fight Team is going to take over the California Fight Game. Like, I'm telling you right now, like we're growing so fast and so strong, and we're getting all these good bodies in there. Like, a lot of people are seeing through the bullshit of a lot of teams around this place. I'm not going to name drop on anybody or hate on anybody, but all I'm doing is I'll call it how I see it. A lot of people are seeing bullshit with the gyms around here, and they're coming to a real ass fight team that likes to fight. We're not money hungry people. I'm not looking to get rich off you guys. Pay your dues, train hard as you can, and then we'll talk about the other stuff, and I'm going to help you every step of the way. And I know anybody who's involved in my gym will do the same. So our gym is legit right now, man. And I'm super pumped about what's going on. And I'm so thankful for everybody that's helped me get my gym. Like, I mean, I've been coaching people since 2016. I started training people. Like, that's when I started like coaching and having a few amateur fighters. My very first amateur fighter that me and Trey had, his name's Alec Killebrew. He's 4-1 with the amateur belt. And he's going to be making a comeback supposedly soon. That's what he's told us. I mean, Matt Reed, he's like our second longest student, definitely the most consistent student that we've had. He's starting to make he's I think he's 2-3 as a pro MMA fighter right now. He's 1-0 in pro boxing, but I mean, this kid's had a life-changing event that has gave this kid an epiphany. He trains harder than anybody I know right now. Like he's out training me, and I have a fight, and he doesn't. Like, and he's, I mean, in the gym, I'm like, damn, I'm tired right now. He goes, well, I'm not. Let's go. Let's get up. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. And I mean, I'm freaking out. Like, I mean, this kid is ready to fight. If any pro boxing or pro MMA are watching, I have Matt Reed. He fights at 145 or to 155 or any boxing weight class in between. So if you guys want to get him on a show, he's a very popular kid and he trains really hard and he's a great fighter. Also, Trey Branch has had an injury. He's had an injury and he has came back. He is actively sparring. He is doing amazing in the gym. And we're all ready to go, man. So if you guys are looking for fighters, I got plenty. So we're all hungry. We've all, everyone that's in my gym, we've been training hard. So we're ready to get down. So.
Damn, dude, setting the world ablaze. I like it. I love it. And Eddie Smith says Cody is one of the most genuine people anyone can meet. It's an honor being on the team. Jesse Velasquez says keeping it real like a boss. Tristan over on YouTube saying I'm ready to fight. Bring the amateurs. Win, lose, I'll be there. So shout out to Tristan.
Dude, that kid is tougher than nails, dude. He's one of our new students. He's been training with us for almost a month. And he's gonna be ready to fight within the next month or two. I mean, he's 131 pounds right now walking around, but he's also like 6 foot tall with these long, little, lanky arms. And his jiu-jitsu is getting good. His striking, he's accurate with his striking, and he could take a punch. Like a lot of those guys who are built like that, like they fold. But when these other guys, his size been hitting him hard, he's taking it. He's all right with it. I mean that kid's he's gonna go places as well.
Man, can't wait to see him. And E-Brothers Dirk says hammer down, just like Tristan said. So hashtag hammer down. Dang right. Now, obviously, fighting for the BKFC, that's a lot of eyes, right? So there are some sponsorship opportunities that you can pursue with one Cody Sons, right? And give them the sell, my man.
So yeah, man. So basically, right now I have a couple sponsors. I'm looking for about 6 more to fill my banner completely. Right now I got Rev Nutrition. out of Bakersfield, California. I got D's Cuts Barbershop. That's the barbershop that cuts my hair. She's pissed off at me, by the way, because I went and had to shave part of this off to get this tattoo the other day. So I literally just got a haircut and it was all cleaned up or whatnot, and then I go off and shave half my head to get a damn tattoo on it. So she's gonna have to fix me up soon. Crazy Cheap Prints. They're in charge of all my banners. Jamie. He's based out of Tehachapi, California, and Oklahoma. I think it's Tulsa, I believe. But he's nationwide. He'll send to anywhere in the U.S. The best, fastest, cheapest prints you can get. I promise. Like, my banners are amazing. I don't know if you've seen them, but my banners are always legit, and they are clear. They're not splotchy. They're fast, and he takes care of people. I have a massage therapist, Z Massage Therapy. She takes care of me, my body when it's hurting. So I mean, if anybody wants to get their stuff out there on pay-per-view, now's the time to get it. I got Locomotive Official Clothing. They're based out of Torrance, California. That's one of my best friends, like in the whole world. He started this company, and so he's been rocking with me since day one. So I'm gonna rock with him since day one. So they got an Instagram. It's called Locomotive Official. Go check them out. They got a shit ton of cool shirts and shorts and hats and all that. So yeah, man, it's pretty much open right now. If you want to get your brand out there and you want you want these pay-per-view, a couple of the events are pay-per-view. I've been told a couple of them are live television. So regardless, there's publicity in your brand and it will be seen in front of millions of people. I don't know if you guys have seen BKFC, but there's every video on their YouTube has 1 million or more views on it, damn near. So if you want that walkout shirt to have your stuff on it, you want me to walk out in a cool hat like this, you want me to put your logo or something on my banner, now is the time. Just hit me up on Facebook, Instagram, or anything, and ask for a sponsorship packet, and we can talk business. So
There it is. There it is. And one last question before we go. Steve Dodson says, Cody Sons, when promotions start back up, we're going to have to talk. Might be able to pull something in North Carolina, depending if the promotions pay for that travel. I know Idris Wasi from Sacramento came and fought the next level here in North Carolina. So there's that. And he also said, reach out to Connected Clothing out of Sac. Good story behind the clothing line. So shout out to Steve for that tidbit, and shout out to Connected Clothing. Can't wait to see. But again, for those who might be wondering where to find you on social media, my man, where can they do that?
God of Thunder 661 on Instagram. You can hit me up on there, or just Cody Sons on Facebook, or you can just follow the Hammer Down Fight Team page, and I'm pretty active on that business page. I like to give. I don't leave people on red like a lot of business pages do. I will get back to you within an hour or so if I'm not at the gym training. So I'm very active on all social media platforms. I will not leave you unattended or unread, even if we don't come to an agreement of sponsorship or anything like that, or whatnot. Then that's fine. I'm not going to judge you anyway on that, and I'm not going to have any hard feelings as well. Also, Trey Branch, he's running a special. So if you guys are in the Bakersfield area, he's actually running specials on private lessons. So hit up Trey Branch on Facebook as well, for all your private lessons, for striking, mostly Muay Thai. Boxing and Muay Thai is his specialty. So if you guys want some private lessons, I'm kind of setting back from the privates and all that right now because I'm focused on my fight. But Trey Branch is kind of picking up the slack, and he's better. He's a better private coach than I am. I'll tell you that right now. So if you want to get in and get active and learn some cool shit, hit up Trey Branch on Instagram. It's Trey Branch 135, I believe it is. I might have to double check that really quick. I don't want him to kill me if people are hitting up the wrong person. Let's see here. It is.
Dun, dun, dun. The anticipation.
Yeah, it's T Branch MMA 135. So if you guys are looking for private lessons, my boy is available and he is open as well. And if you guys want to come by the gym and get some work in, we are located in Bakersfield, California at 3231 Antonino Avenue. Be clean and respect my stuff, and don't bring no Rona up in there. And that's the only thing I ask. But other than that, man, shout out to all my sponsors, all the people that take care of me, all the people that keep supporting me, all the people who have commented on this video, and helped your podcast grow, help my publicity grow. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. And I'm telling you right now, follow my stuff on social media, because when I announce that date, it is going down, and I promise you, I'm going to knock the shit out of that guy. I will tell you one more time, if anybody is late on this podcast, Josh Bonner is getting 2 minutes of fame in the first round. And the only reason I'm going to be generous is because you guys are paying good money to get your guys' logos out there on TV. And I don't want to give you guys no 30-second fight. And I want you guys' stuff to be seen. So that's all he's getting from me. And he's going to get knocked out in round 2. So with that being said, I am ready to fight.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. That's why he's getting around. I'm feeling generous. And I really, really, really feel like if you guys are paying for these sponsors, that I shouldn't go out there and obliterate his face in 30 seconds like I want to. So that's what I'm giving him. I'm giving him 1 round, and it's go time. So, like I said, I do need some big bodies on sparring. Josh Bonner is 6'4.5" of pure marshmallow. I almost said pure P word. I need to watch it. He was talking some shit on a podcast the other day, and I seen it, man. I got pissed off, and it kind of brought a little other side of me that I don't really like to do because I'm always humble. But he pissed me off. So it is time for him to reap what he sows, and his shit's gonna get dealt with. But yeah, I appreciate you for having me on the show, man. I really appreciate it, man. I had a fun. That was the best hour I've killed in a really long time since this quarantine has started and on my day off. So, I mean, only other thing I was going to do is go to Ross and spend a bunch of money on my wife because I love Ross. But dress less. They need to sponsor me for real. Ross, I spend a lot of money at your guys' stores. You know what I'm saying? If you guys are watching, I'm just saying. But
why the hell not, right?
I dress for less and I'm always fresh. You know what I'm saying?
Damn right. Yeah. And then Cody Smith said, all this fight talk got me itching. Danny Can said, yeah. I love it. Yes. Steve Dodson says, Eddie Smith, hammer down. Hashtag hammer down. We got
That's
hammer
right.
downs all here. There it is. And there's a 6'5" guy. So there you go. Shoot in those DMs. Absolutely. And Sky Guzman. And she says she's ready for Ross. So we got to get you out of here. But this has been According to Woods with the God of Thunder and Rock and Roll. He is Cody Sons. And wait for his BKFC debut coming to you soon. This has been According to Woods. And we are out. Bing!